Hello and welcome back to the channel. So we're out here today. I thought I'd do a little review on my recently acquired PARD DS35 70RF. This is the laser rangefinder version. I've had this for a couple of weeks now and I'm extremely impressed with it. So if we start at the back, this is your eye focus bell, so you can get the icons nice and clear when you look at the screen. You have your power off and on button. You have your laser rangefinder and your Wi-Fi on and off. You have your photo or video recording button, and then you have your day and night mode. The two side turrets do nothing. This is just where the 18650 battery goes sideways into the scope. The menu system is controlled from this top button up here. It's a push button and it rotates cleanly, so that's how you navigate in and out of the menus. Select the one you want, push the button to accept it, and then change the values. This works extremely well. This version you have the IR torch on here. Don't be misled by the size of this IR torch. It is extremely powerful for such a small device. You can also bring this shade forward and backward to increase it from a wide beam to a narrow beam, and if you loosen this ring here you can actually position the dish of the beam so that the dish perfectly aligns with where the gun is pointing. Obviously this side here is the laser rangefinder. Now I've compared this laser rangefinder to my Vortex rangefinder out to about 700 yards, and it's giving me the exact same readings as, and that wasn't a budget rangefinder. That's a £400 rangefinder, and this gives me identical readings, which I'm really impressed with. It's full colour during the day, and it's obviously night vision black and white at night. You can select whether you want it in different colours. You can have it in yellow if you so choose, the night vision mode, or green. You have a small shutter window here that you move with this switch. That's closed, that's open, which gives you a tiny little pinhole open, so that when you're using it in daylight mode you don't flood the sensor with too much light. And this side lever here is your focus, so it is a front focus, you don't have a side focus. But it is extremely easy to use. It's very soft and smooth and very easy to operate when you've got gloves on. So what comes in the box? So in the box you get a lovely little cover which fits the PARD perfectly. It goes on the top and covers it, so you don't get any what I would call cupboard rash, where it's rubbing off other guns or the cupboard itself. The box is very well presented. It looks very nice. It's got a lovely image on the front, high resolution. The parts inside are secured very well, all cut, shaped and moulded to hold everything securely. Inside the box you get a warranty card and an owner's manual. You get a rubber eye piece to stop light showing on your face at night when you're hunting. You get a set of ring mounts with it, which are quite surprisingly good quality. A pair of Allen keys to install the device, a lens cloth and a USB-C lead for getting the data from the scope. Personally, I'm not a fan of this because it means you have to pull your gun out of the cabinet, get it to your computer and connect it up, so I prefer to take the memory card in and out and do it that way. You also get a 18650 battery, PARD branded. The only thing that is not supplied is the memory card for recording the photos and videos, so you can pick a memory card of your choosing depending on how much video you wish to take. Let's see what it's like when you get some daytime footage, and then I will also do some nighttime footage and include that. So before anybody says anything, the scope is mounted to the gun and I am pointing it around, but as you will see here, both the magazine and the bolt has been removed for the rifle to ensure safety, and the bore has been checked for no projectiles. So obviously I wouldn't dream of pointing a gun, loaded or unloaded, at anywhere I shouldn't do. But I'm just trying to give you a clear visibility. I'm going to ping some ranges. The furthest one will be about a 600 and something yards. I can't remember what it said on the screen. I'm sure it'll come up. And then a couple hundred yards from the back garden, 179 meters and so on like that. And then I will both zoom and not zoom. I think it's 5.6 to 11 point something the zoom, but that's more than enough for, nighttime rabbiting. I mean, I've taken rabbits 200 yards with this in the dark, piece of cake, and you can see it quite clearly. That video is coming. So yeah, enough waffle. Let's see what it's like in the daytime and in the nighttime. You can see here when I ping the rangefinder and it pops up at 175 meters, the little cross indicates the holdover required should you wish to make that shot at that distance. Obviously it's very small, but that's because I'm shooting a 204, which has got a very, very flat trajectory. This is quite a grey, overcast day today as well, so you can see the quality that the sensor is picking up even with the low grey, sort of miserable damp light, but it's still picking up exceptionally well. I did try to get a range here of the hedgerow and the building, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too far away for the PARD rangefinder. I know that that's roughly about a mile from where I live, so it was wishful thinking. So this tree here is at 329 meters. I've showed you both the low zoom and the high zoom, and to be honest, it's a pretty impressive picture quality for that sort of range in this light. You can see here that the rangefinder had no issue whatsoever pinging this bush at 696 meters. So obviously with a reflective target you will get a further range, but I mean 700 yards plus for me is all I'll ever need, especially shooting the 204. I don't intend to shoot it ever that range, so very happy. You can also see here that the holdover point is indicated, and then when I zoom the scope you'll notice the hold point jumps, and that is because obviously you've zoomed the reticle, so therefore you've increased the size of the reticle, which will make the crosshair jump. But it is exactly the same point of aim, just in two different aspects: low zoom, high zoom. So we shall come back tonight, we shall ping the same targets in darkness and show you what the quality is like when it's in full night vision mode. So here we are now in full night mode. We're on the same trees we started off originally at about 177 meters. The IR is on floodlight, not spotlight, and it's on the lowest setting, setting 1 for image intensity. You can see here now that I've pulled the collar forward to change from a floodlight to a narrow beam, and you'll see me cycle through the 3 power settings for the onboard IR, but this is still the standard onboard IR. So this is the furthest hedgerow that I zapped in the daytime mode, and as you can still see here, and this is on IR level 1 and wide on the narrow beam, you can still clearly ping stuff out at 696 meters and beyond, as you'll soon see. While on setting 3 and the IR in narrow mode, you can clearly make out these horses in a field that is 814 meters away, and obviously the rangefinder is still working at that range on just a standard hedge, not even a reflective surface. So I'm sure you'll agree, it's pretty impressive. And this is now the digital zoom at the same range of 814 meters. So overall, final conclusion, it is a very impressive piece of equipment. It's not cheap at £800, but what you get in comparison to the competition regarding the rangefinder as well as the night vision scope unit itself, and also the power of the standard onboard IR, you don't really need to have an additional IR, so it really does keep the weight down on the rifle. I'm thoroughly pleased with it, and I highly recommend it. If you're thinking about getting one, you should go for it. You won't be disappointed. So that's it for another week. If you enjoyed this and you managed to stick to the end, thank you. Please remember to like, share and subscribe.